I'm Stanley Charles, and welcome to Topical Issues.
Tears all over my face and I don't know why. Am I happy? Am I sad? Tell me why I'm crying. You see me way better than I see me, and I'm the best at what I do cause you believe in me.
Welcome back. I have always stated publicly, in my opinion, my view, the Grenadian education system is bankrupt. How do you explain this nonsense of young people being bullied, pressured into having 10 and 14 how many subjects? What value are these so-called subjects? Which university in the world that ask you for 10 subjects as entrance level? And I wondered whether or not the people in the world of education in Grenada, have they ever heard of STEM?
The Africa Science Week is a way in which we create public engagement for NEF programs as the community of scientists in our local communities.
Les Africains constituent moins de 2% des chercheurs au niveau mondial. Pas suffisant. L'initiative du Next Einstein Forum veut changer cette tendance et faire des pays africains un acteur incontournable dans la marche vers le progrès.
De cette semaine, c'est d'inciter, de motiver les jeunes à faire de la science et à profiter pour transformer notre société avec des méthodes dites scientifiques et techniques.
Dans ce cadre, on organise la Semaine africaine des sciences et l'objectif de cette semaine, c'est de vraiment promouvoir les sciences au Sénégal parce qu'au Sénégal et en Afrique, on a une culture.
When we say Africa has a lot of natural resources, that is true. Those who own the resources are the ones who have the knowledge, the skills, technology to exploit the resources and give you a small percentage.
Our ambition, we want to foster the socio-economic transformation of the continent.
The Africa Science Week will outlive all of us involved at this inception in Ghana and see and go beyond generations into generations to come.
Our daughters and sons want to become football players, they want to become singers, so who will do the science that will transform our country?
Big ideas can come from anyone, anywhere, anyone willing to create change. They can come from future makers like you. The Caribbean needs your big ideas to create positive change. Your radical ideas can propel us into a more resilient future. Your ambitious ideas can make our region stronger and better. For more information on how to join the movement, go to www.caribbeanpivot.com. Will you make a moonshot? Let's innovate.
The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank is fully aware that its members need to take a critical look at education. The president of the central bank is Mr. Timothy Antoine.
I am deeply concerned about our obsession with subjects rather than skills. I find it difficult to accept that we could go on and on for bragging rights about who gets the most subjects in our schools and not worry about how we connect with the labor market and what these children are going to do. These students are going bright as they are when they finish school. Because what I see before me is rising unemployment, especially amongst our youth. In many of our countries, the youth unemployment rate is double the national average. So that concerns me, and for me it is very clear that skills is an area. So you can go into some countries and you still can't find plumbers, you still can't find masons. The really good ones are in high demand, and the other ones, well, let's just not talk about that. But then you also have the issue of what is it that we're creating for this new economy? When you look at the skills required for the 21st century, there are skills in the area of emotional intelligence, the soft ones. Then there's coding and there's cognitive reasoning, and those are not skills that are being sufficiently addressed in our school system. And what is bothersome is that not only are we setting up our children for frustration, but when you look at the region, the average spend on education is actually above the average in developing countries. But the issue is really where are we channeling those resources, the quality of the expenditure. And therefore, I would argue that we need to focus now on what it is that we're going to do. Listen, we have a chance as a region to leapfrog, to make a quantum leap in terms of our development. But it's going to have to be skills. We're going to have to change the dynamic with respect to skills, and it starts with a conversation. You can't leave skill development to education and educators.
Big ideas can come from anyone, anywhere, anyone willing to create change. They can come from future makers like you. The Caribbean needs your big ideas to create positive change. Your radical ideas can propel us into a more resilient future. Your ambitious ideas can make our region stronger and better. For more information on how to join the movement, go to www.caribbeanpivot.com. Will you make a moonshot? Let's innovate.
Now let's turn to Yvonne Alana. She is a co-founder of Afrotech Girls. Here she is as she appears on Channels TV. She's about to answer, how important is STEM and what is STEM?
So STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, like you rightfully defined it, is basically a field that covers all of the applied sciences and basic sciences that, fall under that category. One of the things that we see everywhere, and more so in this part of the world, is that the women are a minority in this group. You go to the workplace and you see one out of every 4 engineers is probably a female. We want these numbers to be more. We want to move from 10% to about 50% ideally. So it's an interesting field, and it's one everyone should be given the opportunity to explore.
Why do you think that, the numbers have been that low in the past number of years?
Yeah, it's interesting because it's a number of factors, one of which would be from the home. I think most homes, girls aren't encouraged enough to explore the different opportunities that are made available to them in the world of STEM. For some reason, boys are more naturally inclined to pursue courses as well as jobs in STEM fields. It could be based on either what they're exposed to growing up as kids, either the kind of toys they play with, or just working with their dads more closely on basic building skills. So we want to see more girls being exposed to, first of all, being educated about what the options are, empowered to explore it, because first off, they won't see that many women. So it's like, oh, is this something for me as a female? But for them to know that this is something that they need to explore.
Well, we also know that tech companies are springing up. The number of jobs requiring STEM-based skills on the increase, but not a lot of Nigerian students are equipped to handle these positions. What more can be done to stem this?
I think what can be done is, the schools are doing enough, but I think out of what the schools teach us, we need to explore different options, applying ourselves more. Students need to look for other opportunities besides the basic curriculum that the school offers to see how they can apply a lot of this concept to learning, because a lot of times the way our school system is structured, we're taught a lot of concepts and a lot of ideas. They need to be able to take that and apply that in real problems, in real life problems, and hopefully close the gap in the technical skill set that they have.
We have the interest of the environment as well, but very importantly, we have a 500 hotel room coming here. 500 hotel rooms, and it is known for every hotel room you would have 2 or 3 persons employed to manage those rooms and to clean those rooms and to get the guests to have a good time.
Big ideas can come from anyone, anywhere, anyone willing to create change. They can come from future makers like you. The Caribbean needs your big ideas to create positive change. Your radical ideas can propel us into a more resilient future. Your ambitious ideas can make our region stronger and better. For more information on how to join the movement, go to www.caribbeanpivot.com. Will you make a moonshot? Let's innovate.
Stand together and defeat Corona.
Nobody is safe until everybody is safe. Oh, me, I want to be safe. Oh.
Stand together and defeat Corona.
I was highly inspired by the series of experiments, the challenges, and then the sense of commitment that these students have shown towards the advancement of science and technology in the University of the Gambia.
Let's challenge ourselves. Let's do that little bit extra to be where our counterparts are. We can do it. The next Einstein can come from Gambia.
Now, we have areas here where employment is a challenge. We welcome this 1,000+ jobs. It is for the people of St. Patrick's, St. Mark's, St. Andrews, and St. John's. The project is valued at $2 billion. Can you imagine how that money will filter down into the pockets of Grenadians?
It's been a very exciting, encouraging, and inspiring time. Here in Abuja, the capital city of Nigeria, we have students working on robotics, digital electronics, digital printing, and just giving opportunity to explore what science has to offer.
Africa Science Week is important because it's important to look at a problem not just from your own country's perspective, but to look at all kinds of problems from a whole continent kind of setup. And I think it's also very important because it's addressing issues such as women in STEM, mothers in STEM, and these issues affect not just South Africans, but also affects everybody that is in Africa.
You can't leave skill development to education and educators. And I say that with due respect. My mom, my dear, was a master teacher, principal. I have great respect for educators. But he who knows only education does not know education, in the same way that he who only knows economics does not know economics. You have to have an interdisciplinary approach where you bring others to the table. And a lot of that discussion really requires that we bring industry together. So when Minister Strong was speaking this morning about the need to engage private sector, he kept making that point. I fully agree with him. For me to discuss the whole evolution of skills in our region at this time, in our school system, it has to be a conversation that goes beyond education. It has to involve economists, it has to involve private sector, it has to involve civil society, and ultimately, obviously, it has to involve our youth. So I fully agree that we need to skill. And the truth is, more than just teaching or training for 21st century skills, is a mindset that we have to keep skilling and reskilling. Skilling and reskilling, because as Alvin Toffler said, the illiterate in the 21st century is a person who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. And basically, it requires us to have that agility, as was referred earlier, where we continue to reskill. And so I say to young people, not just that you stay forever young, but you stay forever skilled. And that requires a commitment to lifelong learning.
As usual, we end with something special. But before I go, I have to say thank you to a number of doctors who took care of me when I was in the hospital. Now people are kind of very shyish, so I'm not going to name them, but I'll name them in another video. But I'm very grateful. I spent 3 days in the hospital. It's not a very pleasant experience, but I'm back, as you see, and we continue to make videos for you.
The children, the young girls, have had a chance to have the experience to see what a lab is, and then to see them at work. And also they were talked to by 2 inspirational young researchers talking about their work and how they got to where they are.
It is our hope that we also as Lesotho can use science and technology to boost our economy. We can come up with new products, and with the new products we can actually start new businesses.